all new episode of GVN Talk. I think we've been going for a while. It feels like it, right? Like we've been going for a while.
Yes. Yes,
But
a
we're
couple weeks.
and there's no better way to bring us back than the Titan season 3 premiere of the first 3 episodes. They dropped Thursday. We're doing our review Friday, and it will probably be dropped Saturday. But before we get into Titan season 3, let me introduce our panel. Welcoming back Shekinah. What's going on, Shekinah?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Super happy to be potting with you again. It's been too long. Also got to get your what if thoughts before we get out of
here.
So we got a few things to catch up on. But also Trevon, what's up, Trevon?
Hey, I'm ready to talk about this. It's a great start. I was surprised by the start of this. So yeah, let's get into it.
Absolutely. Let me start by saying I'm glad Shekinah is here because she has a poster that always meant a lot to me, and it's that Teen Titans poster right there. And I say that because they did something that both excited me and infuriated me. And that was they finally brought to the big screen Gizmo. Anyone that remembers the Teen Titans cartoon knows Gizmo is not only the most adorable, but probably the most enjoyable cyborg villain. Now, what disappoints me is, if not for me just being the comic purist that I am, it did not seem like he was Gizmo. It didn't really do anything Gizmo-y. And what upset me about seeing Gizmo was there's no cyborg. No cyborg. And when I look at that poster behind Shekinah, I don't see a Hawk and Dove. I don't see a Jason Todd. I don't see a Donna Troy. I see Cyborg, Robin, Beast Boy, Raven, Starfire.
Yeah, that's about right.
That's the
I didn't realize he was Gizmo until he got back out of the truck. I was like, "Oh, that's who that is."
When I saw the everything was green and then the goggles, I was just like, "Damn, they're doing."
It just
didn't make it obvious. Yeah.
Until he got out, I was like, "Oh, the gun," and it just didn't look like him. I was, "Oh, that's who that is." No,
you know what it was? They took Marvel. You know how like Marvel started a movie with a villain we might have grew up on, and we're like, "Damn, that villain's huge," and Marvel kills him in like the first 10 minutes, or they get arrested in like the first 10 minutes. I think that was their way of letting us know Gizmo to them is a joke, and he's not ever going to be, a big villain like he somewhat was in the Titan show, which, is hurtful, but, realistic, I guess. He's more of a comical villain, so I guess he doesn't really fit here. Unless they introduce the Hive and, they make the Brotherhood where it's, she has like a probability of chance. I can't remember the whole
Jinx.
Yeah, was it Jinx?
Jinx. Is her name Jinx?
I
know that's what she technically is, but I don't know if it was her name or not. I can't remember.
Jinx. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. So I mean, look, we could see Gizmo again down the line, but I get it. It's a more comical villain. This is more a darker showing of the Titans, so he doesn't necessarily really have a place here. So I get it. So I'm gonna just do a quick rundown of my thoughts on these first 3 episodes, and we're gonna, I'm gonna pass along to Shekinah. I did like seeing Carrie Kelly's name come up. That brought a tear to my eye. I appreciated it. That was okay, all right. She's still in the hearts of many. So that was interesting to see. Look, everyone keeps saying hashtag this is not their Batman. I keep trying to remind.
It'll be correct.
I keep trying to remind people, of course, they're doing to Batman what is to be expected. If Nightwing is going to be this version's Batman, you have to tear down everything that is Batman to establish why it's important Nightwing is there. I get it, but I also feel as though it's unnecessary. One doesn't have to really involve the other. Because right now, Titans has been about the Bat family, not about the Titans. So to me, it's dirty. You're using Batman to sell the Titans. It's dirty. It's really, really, really dirty. It's yucky. I don't like it. But
I would argue they're using Bruce, but It's fine. 'Cause we haven't seen Batman.
Well, no, it's the essence of what Batman
I'm sorry,
brings.
that was petty. I know
Yeah.
it's petty.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I mean, again, it's kind of a genie thing. Once you let the genie out of the lamp, it's really hard to put it back. So once you show Batman, it's the same reason Batwoman has only shown you Bruce. Once you show Batman, do I really need a Nightwing or Batwoman? No, I'll just be Batman. So I get it. So I'll never have a problem with not seeing Batman. I don't want to, but that's my problem. I don't need to see any of these people. I don't need to see Hawk and Dove. I don't need to see Superboy. I don't need to see Donna Troy. I don't need to see anybody that's not on that poster right above Shekinah. That's it. Cyborg, Beast Boy, Robin, Raven, and then if I didn't say Starfire. That's it. That's all I need. So to me, it's just frustrating because it's like, just make a Gotham Knight show where you could do all this stuff with no worry about any other characters. You can do Barbara Gordon, you could do Nightwing, you can do Robins. But this is a Titan story that I feel like Titans, you know what it is? You remember when what's his name said, do I look like I was left off bad and bougie? And it's like, well, you were left off. You were. they gave you 100% were left off of bad and bougie. That's what the whole team is. The team has been left off of bad and bougie. And it's like, bro, but I thought it was the Migos. How the hell you just leave out one of the members and still call this song, still say the song is by the Migos? So to me, feature the Titans more. Give it a mission that doesn't stick to one particular character. That way everyone's getting enough shine. Because right now, the more I watch these 3 episodes, I'm kind of just like, why did he call the Titans here? Like, I get it story-wise, so they have something to do, but why? Like, he couldn't have just called Superboy, and Superboy just literally just do everything himself?
See, that's the problem where, like, when I watch the Arrowverse shows, knowing that the Flash is a couple cities away, I'm like, why don't you just call him real quick?
Yeah.
Just have him run over here, help with this. Like, that's when they about to blow up the whole city. Like, call him, like, get him over here.
It's good that you give people things to do. Like, if Arrow's facing a really, really crazy villain, right? Establish that Flash isn't available. That he's tried to call Barry, but clearly Barry's dealing with something, so he can't bother him. But when you, first of all, let me just say, this is a stupid thing they did with Superboy. In Young Justice, Superboy's powers are limited. He needed a patch from Lex to fully amplify his powers. In Titans, he has all of his abilities. So when you think about it, you go, wait a minute, he's bulletproof, indestructible, shoots fire out of his eyes, he's super fast. Why do I need a guy to a tiger? Like, why do
he can handle all of it himself? Yeah.
Right. So it would be as if Batman came to Metropolis to help Superman. Superman would go, wait, hold on. No, I think you have that backwards. I don't need your help. Like, you forgot I'm everything. I can come to Gotham for you. So to me, it's just the team doesn't make sense. I told you guys this before. Me and Joel were saying how, like, it honestly would have been smarter if you gave Nightwing his own show based out of Bloodhaven. And then it was, the Robin that grew up with Hawk and Dove was Jason, because that makes more sense. Jason is more rough. Hawk and Dove will do it in a yard. But that's not Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson is not this vicious. He just isn't.
Right.
So seeing Dick, do all these things, and I'm just like, it really rubs me the wrong way. But anyway, I've been talking too long. Sorry. Shekinah, I'm going to pass it to you. What have been your first 3 episodes of season 3?
I didn't write anything down. I'm trying to gather my thoughts as we're going. But one thing I will say is Jason has to die. He has to die. I don't care. It needs to be the beating of a lifetime. Like, they need to actually. Let me calm down.
Superman just
because really and truly, there's nothing that they did that could have ever led you to that point. I'm so sorry, but I feel like you are actually over exaggerating. Forget storyline, you are over exaggerating. There was something wrong with you, and there's steps in between. You didn't have to go that far, and you went that far. Like, there was no need. There was no need.
Right. Exactly.
Other than that, like, I do agree with things you were saying about how it's not really like a cohesive team. It just feels off, like, with that. It's not really like a proper team, which I get. I think I'm not sure if I like Barbara yet. I'm not really sure if I like Barbara at the moment. I'm just.
I'm gonna say, because we got telling Trevon, we got the first 6 episodes, so see the first 6. They changed Barbara is really all I can say. So if you're iffy now, when you get more from Barbara, you're just gonna be like, why did you?
Damn it! This is not the intro I needed. Oh, this is not great.
So this show is gonna be a lot. So this show's gonna be a lot of why did you do that? Because that's what I got so far. That's how I feel.
Here's the main problem when it comes to the Bat family. Once you establish that Bruce is as dark and I guess not cutthroat, but is as vicious as he is, they kind of mirrored everybody more towards Bruce. What a lot of people don't really know that might be, newer to the character is Jason Todd only killed bad guys. That was the whole thing. It was Bruce never killed, and Jason would kill the bad guys. But Jason killing a good guy? It's just, where do you think your redemption is coming from?
There ain't no.
I think people forget redemption in our world usually means the person's dying, and in their last dying, effort, they do something heroic, a la Darth Vader, certain characters like that. But to me, it's kind of just like, well, where do you go? I mean, you've already tarnished the one thing sacred about Batman, and now you're tarnishing really the only thing that Jason Todd hung his hat on, which was, I only do what Bruce refuses to do, and that is to deal with the bad guys how you should. So it's like, well, if Bruce is killing and then Jason is killing, there's no line. It's just, well, you just got a whole bunch of people killing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm sorry. Take it away, Shekinah.
Oh, what else did I write down? Okay, I wrote that I'm not into Hawk and Dove. Like, I'm not into them. Like, their story, they haven't caught me. I don't know why. I think I like them individually, but together, I don't really get it. I understand how they link together story-wise, but maybe I don't know. But yeah, what else did I write down quickly? Starfight, she said, there's a death in the family. And I was like, oh, that's clever. That was a play on, like, cute. Trick of words. I see what you did there. That was cool. That was really cute. Who didn't we see? We didn't see Raven, so I'm guessing she's coming up in the next 3 episodes. I'm assuming we didn't see Raven, so she must be coming up soon. What else? I will say that if at the end of this season we don't see Beast Boy change into something else, I will riot. I will protest on the street. If Beast Boy doesn't do anything else, I don't want to see a tiger anymore. I know he did a snake once, but if he's not doing anything else other than this, then I'm going to be very, very irate, because you know what he's meant to do. So it's like, at this point, it has to change.
I like that he was like studying and trying to like, it's almost like he doesn't believe he can change into anything else. So I was like, okay, well, at least they're giving us a little bit of something, because we were just like, okay, so he's going to try.
Yeah.
I hope that they develop a suit for him, like the cartoon did. So when he transforms, the suit expands to whatever he transforms. So like, he's not just right after he was just
every time.
You know how hard it is if we ever have to chase somebody down and you're sitting there butt naked. Can you get something on, man? Come on now.
It's not practical. It's not a practical thing.
It's not. It would. It's just as uncomfortable as when Bruce Banner would transform into the Hulk and then just be butt naked, and it's just like, Bruce, what do you want us to do with that? You think everywhere we go? No, man, fix it. Do something. No, go ahead, Trevon.
I was just saying, it reminds me of. I know people don't really like these movies, but I love them. The Fantastic Four movies, that when Sue would have to get naked to be invisible when she first figured out how to use it.
Yeah,
She
she
was
Oh
like,
yeah.
but no,
that was
actually,
funny.
that makes perfect sense, and people sometimes don't understand that because you can turn yourself invisible doesn't usually mean you can turn your clothes invisible.
Right.
They're
Especially
not,
when you first learn,
Yeah.
first start.
yeah, they're not an extension of you. Only your literal skin and flesh can be invisible. It's when she learned how to project other things.
Right. Exactly.
I can make my whole outfit invisible. But yeah, so to me, it's just it's a little frustrating. I will say, I teared up seeing that scene from Under the Red Hood where he brought all the mobsters together. By the way, I just have to say this. This is nitpicking. I understand. To have that small of a table in that big ass warehouse was just like you found something.
You're being picky. You're being picky. You're being picky. You are.
So much real estate here. Like, but anyway, I did love him throwing the heads on the table, just like the animated movie. And I do like he has a voice modulator because that was one thing I was worried about. I'm like, well, how's he gonna not sound like
it's
Jason? Yeah. So I love it. I love it. The suit looks like it might have some stilts to make him a little bit taller than he actually is. The mask, I'm always a component of the mask should never be that big. His head's not that guy. Why is that mask? Shrink the mask some. You changed it now, Trevon, but if you still had it up, I would point out how like it's huge.
It's chunky. It's chunky.
It is.
Not that big. But no, look, there's certain stuff that Red Hood has done in these 3 episodes that I'm just like, I like where you're going with Red Hood outside of obviously, you know, the whole killing Hawk. But he's very cerebral. I mean, look how he did all that. It was like watching Saw. It was like
I have questions about that. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I don't know how is he doing this stuff? Like,
when did he become smart?
He is not exactly smart? Like, where did he become a genius? Like, where is this? Like, come on. Like, it's just not right to me. I don't know. It's almost like I had a thought, but I don't want to say it here because I don't want you to give it away if I have a thought and you tell me.
I won't tell you yes or no. Anything. That's why I haven't said anything. Go ahead. What are you thinking?
Isn't Barbara like smart? Is she like nuts? Like, I'm wondering, like, is she like helping him? I don't know. I don't know. Like, I just wonder, is she like, I don't know. Like, how is he? That's my thought. Like, how is he doing this by himself? Like, who is helping him?
He can't be by himself.
Somebody is helping him.
You will have the answer to that very soon. Yeah.
Like, who else could be doing this? Yeah. So I don't know. That's my thought. But I don't know. For me, the show, I like the team, sort of. I don't know, like you said about Superboy. Superboy having all these abilities and him just fighting alongside them like I don't know, it's just weird. I'm like, he could literally, none of you guys would do anything. Just stand there. He just wipe them all out easily. Why are you guys split up like this? And he up there struggling. I mean, Nightwing's not struggling, but he's fighting with the sticks and all. So I'm like, Superboy right there. Like, he's right there. Like, come on. How can you explain that? Like, it just make him weak or something. It just doesn't make sense. Especially he has his freeze breath. He has everything. I was like, so he can do everything.
I mean,
okay.
Equivalent to seeing how Age of Ultron opened, and seeing that Hulk and Thor were there, and yet you have Iron Man and Cap and Black Widow and Hawkeye, and it's just like, well, realistically, you only need 2 out of the like 6 people you got there. You only need the Hulk and Thor to just unleash, and then boom, you're into the palace. You stop everybody. Boom. The beginning would have been all of 5 seconds.
I guess for me, it's not. I think it's more of, for me with Superboy, it's his speed. I was like, it's how fast he can just run through these places. Iron Man, none, Hulk, Thor, none of them have speed. None of them
Mm.
like he fly. They're slow. Like, they're not like
Well,
not fast
I just meant
like
more
this.
the beginning of
The power. Yeah, I know what you mean.
no. I just meant the beginning of Titans. They're fighting really just henchmen. Beginning
Right.
of Ultron, they're just fighting henchmen. So you don't
True.
necessarily have to be fast. Well, obviously, until they run into Quicksilver and Wanda, there was nobody there with abilities. It's literally henchmen. So you only needed Thor and Hulk to take out these henchmen.
Yeah.
So when
It's
you
always interesting.
time out, that wasn't even the most frustrating part, Trevon. The most frustrating
What?
part was when he goes, "Crypto, speak." And it's like, well, goddamn, the dog is powerful too. So you're telling me I only needed you and the dog. I didn't even need everybody else.
I really love that dog is like has Superman's powers. I was like, this is great. It's just amazing. They really went with it. Like they really went for it.
Right, which he does. So I don't want to make it sound like we're saying like, oh,
Yeah.
no, they're doing extra stuff. That's fine. That's
Normal. Yeah.
It's just the idea of you really sat there and let Beast Boy turn into a whole goddamn tiger when you could have barked and ended this 5 minutes ago.
Right.
Nah.
The dog is actually dog is very smart too. Like
Yeah.
they telling it do stuff and it just I'm like, oh.
Trevon, tell me you two didn't tear up when he walked out of Hawk's room. I
did. That was sad. That was
poor
sad.
dog.
Sorry.
I was
Forget
like,
what I said about Hulk and Dove. That was sad. That was very sad. I take it back.
And I love how Hawk's just like, hey, go get me some hot dogs. And the dog was just like, okay.
Okay.
What was about that was
how would he get it?
How is he cooking it? But show enough, dog said, I got you. Don't even worry about it, Hawk. Don't even question the law. I got it. Don't even worry about it. And it sat there with him when he could have left. He could have went with literally anybody else. I mean, that whole setup. Let me just say this: as much as I get it, it is the narrative to hate Jason right now because of that. I get it. No problem. No arguments here. How they set up that episode was beautiful. How Dick kept saying, if I call him, it means it's the end. I don't want to do that. And then it kept kind of foreshadowing, and then ultimately Dick kind of going, and here's the thing that really impresses me about what they're doing with Dick Grayson that I kind of love and hate. I love that he's still so new at this. He's making mistakes he shouldn't. He's been Robin entirely too long to be making the kind of mistakes that he's making. Yeah. But it's just the idea of seeing how he's just like, Dove, don't do anything. Let me handle it. I got it. This is what he wants. Don't feed into it. And then her going, I love him so much. Shit, fuck Jason. I don't care. He's died before, right? Let's just do it again. So it's she's. Wait, go ahead, Trevon. What are you saying?
I'm about to say, I know she's just. I just see her.
Will she recover from this?
Just being
Will
done.
She recover?
Either she done or she gonna really lose it and want to kill, like go after him herself. Like one of them, either side, one of them gonna happen. And so it's like, ooh, I was like, man, I could imagine like I want to strangle him, like bare hand, like just
as much as you want to strangle him, it was ultimately her fault. She wasn't thinking rationally. She had a Peter Quill moment. She had a Peter Quill Sylvie moment where she was just like, no, I know it's right in the moment. I'm going to do it. And then once it happens, just like,
oh, shit.
Damn, that's crazy. Like, I should have maybe waited like a second.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. But no, Shekinah, I want to start with you with this question. How are we liking Tim so far? Tim Drake. We saw his interaction.
Oh, I forgot about him for a second there. I mean, he seems nice. I mean, what can I say? Like, there's nothing for me to say for the minute. He just seems nice. I mean, I guess he seems obsessed with the Bat family. Like, we know that he has like a weird obsession. So I guess that's how they're gonna ease like his way into the family. But for now, there's not much to say. I guess he's bilingual. I don't know what language you're speaking on the phone, but I guess he's like bilingual, so that's a bit different, I guess. I think we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm interested. And when I say this, just know I've seen nothing about this, so this is just me speculating. But in the comics, Tim Drake figures out who Batman is, and that's what impresses Bruce to bringing him into the fold. So I'm interested if they go that route, but with Dick. And Dick has his own Robin. That's never been done before.
Ooh.
I mean, it's not hard to figure out that it's him.
Wait, say it again.
I feel like he's making it too easy. Him walking around the police station and then all of a sudden he's helping out. It's just
I'm gonna be
so obvious.
Trevon. It's the one thing that's always frustrating in comic books, to where like Bruce will be at an event, right? The Joker shows up, Bruce is gone. 5 seconds later, Batman's here, and everyone just goes, I see nothing coincidental about that. No, what happens? It's Gotham. Bruce left, and it's like nobody ever just wants to go, you know what? Let me follow Bruce one of these times. Where the hell he going? Even in the where he hit the panic button to go into that little room.
Right.
Just like, oh, right. All right, that's cool. Nobody thought, let me follow him. Hold on a second.
That's why I like in Invincible, once they like that thing where it happened where they're like, oh, where'd he go? And he just go ahead and it was like, yes, him, yes, me, or whatever. Like they just went, like just
like it's assuming people. I love when his friend was just like, yeah, no, it's
Mark?
you. I mean, the jawline. Like I see everything that is you besides your eyes. So yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows if they go that route? I don't know. To me, it's always weird in the comics. Dick Grayson for a short period of time actually did put on the cowl and become Batman. So knowing that Batman is gone and he's just going to continue to be Nightwing, it's frustrating because how do you establish in Gotham that you need to fear Nightwing as you fear Batman? Because I can tell you right now, I would think shit is sweet if I was a villain up in Gotham, like Nightwing. Man, I'm about to rob 6 banks in the next hour. Ain't nobody scared of no Nightwing. Look at him doing backflips and whatnot around. I ain't scared of that. So I'm just really interested to see where they go with Tim Drake. I would be shocked if we didn't see him suit up in some capacity before the end of this season. And by the way, when they showed Robin's suit, how lazy was it the department? There was barely blood on that suit. Now
he was cleaning it. Remember, he was cleaning it.
That is fair. He was kind of saying like it's really hard to get this kind of blood out.
Yeah, he was cleaning it. So.
To me, I appreciated what Zach did in BVS with leaving it as a shrine to remind him of why can't do this again. Can't get involved. It haunted him because I see a lot of people writing reviews about this saying they like how they're going into how much of a sociopath Bruce Wayne is. And I'm like, well, I don't think these people remember the comics because here's the story. He adopted Dick Grayson because he saw himself in Dick Grayson, right? But here's the thing. He didn't go get Jason Todd. Jason Todd stole the wheels off the Batmobile. Something that probably 9 times out of 10, nobody else in Gotham can do. That impressed Bruce to bring him in, right? And then Tim just found out that he was Batman, and that impressed Bruce. So Bruce didn't go, oh man, this kid died. Well, shit, let me just go find another one. That was never Bruce. He didn't willingly say, you know what? Let me put these 10-year-olds in as much harm as possible. So to me, they like that they're feeding into the sociopath of Bruce Wayne. I'm like, well, when was he ever that? I don't remember that at all. So to me, it's a little off-putting. It's like you're going so far out of your way to not make this Bruce Wayne that is just like, all right, there could have been a million other better ways to do this. There just could have, so it's just a little frustrating for me because it's like that's not Batman. And you have people celebrating it as if it's like, yeah, that's really who he is. He's a sociopath. And it's like, well, no, not really. It's not Batman. All right. Before we move on to our next few topics, Trevon, I want to ask you this. Seeing what happened to Hawk, right? I know you said there's no way to redeem Jason. He's done for. I saw you, cock your gun underneath your table. I know you're ready. But I ask this. Knowing that in the comics, the pit has effects on people. If they go that route, that this was motivated by kind of, somewhat what the pit did to him, is that a forgiving factor, or are you just like, nah, son, God forgives, but I don't?
See, the thing for me is I don't understand why he's so mad at them. Like, I don't understand it. Like, they didn't do anything to you that bad for you to want to do this to them. I just don't understand. Like, I get they're like fighting against you and stuff like that, but to lure Hawk out, do all that, put that thing in his chest, like, it's just very elaborate for somebody that really didn't anything that bad to you. Unless I remember the seasons wrong, I just don't remember it being like this. I was like, what happened? Like, why? Like, I need him to do like a monologue or something and explain to me like why you hate them so much, because it just doesn't make sense. I was like, I don't understand. I was like, okay, you came back, yes, but why are you like so vicious toward them? Like, this is crazy. I was like, why would you do this? Like, you could do that to one of them villains or something. Then I'll be like, oh, okay, it's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but I'll be like, oh, okay, fine. But this, I was like, come on, like, I didn't understand. I just don't get it. Like, you can explain to me why he does. Do you understand why he's doing it? Like, why he hates them so much?
Because I know part of why he's doing it. I can't go into that, but
okay.
I would have preferred if he was doing all this to get to Joker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, his goal was to get revenge on Joker, but the team wasn't going to let him cross that line. So they're doing whatever they can to protect. Essentially, what Batman did in Under the Red Hood, where Batman was just like, "Give him to me. I'm gonna put him back in the cell." And Jason's like, "I just broke him out."
No, you need to kill him. Yeah.
Yeah, like, no, he needs to die. So to me, it's like, no. I will tell you, as someone who stopped at episode 3 before I continued on to the next 3, I was confused. I was kind of just like, wait a minute, I don't really think Hawk did much to you. I mean, obviously the whole mistrust of Jason in season 2 that led him to, go on his own.
I mean, he was just off anyway. Like, always like kind of impulsive and stuff like that. But I don't feel like them not going along with that, and you felt like they left you or betrayed you or whatever. But he also said that he's been gone for 3 months and he went right back to being Robin or back with Bruce and everything. So I was okay. So you've been there for 3 months doing this. Like, you can't be getting mad and trying to get back at Bruce because he was on the plane, told you not to go. Like, it's not like he was like, go off by yourself, I don't care. He told you not to go. Like, do not do this. And you still did it, and then you got yourself killed. I don't understand. Like, I don't see how you can be mad at anyone but itself. That's
no, motivations don't make sense.
Yeah.
I will never argue that. It's a stretch. Again, it's creating a narrative to give the Titans a reason to be doing what they're doing. Now the whole team is invested in stopping Red Hood. Now you're giving everyone an equal reason of wanting a pound of flesh from Jason. So from a story point of view, I get it, but I'm with you. No, it doesn't. No, of course not.
Also another thing, Jason is a regular person with guns and stuff, and we got Starfire on the team. We got Superboy on the team. We get ready to have Donna Troy back on the team. We got Raven on the team. This is crazy.
It's a mindset of
get him.
Us. So we're not going to rush into it and collapse his lung like you could do a random bat.
I know.
So it's a little different. It's a little different. Again, the motivations, no. It's just as
and I can't wait to see what's going on with her. this girl right here, like these flashback things she doing. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, what's happening?
This because this isn't any spoiler at all. The payoff is very fun. It's a fun ride.
Okay.
It's a fun ride. It's a fun.
And where's her sister at? Like, I'm sorry, we got a little tease. Like, come on, like, we saw the little tease. Where you at? Like, stop playing. Like, come on, show up.
To get there.
And can you fly, please? Like, I just want her to fly, just float or something. I don't walk everywhere. I hate when she's walking. I'm like, come on, where's your flight? Where's your flight? I have a problem when I know superheroes can do that, and on these shows they have them.
I think
it's almost like they'd never do it.
I think it's budgetary because you don't really see Superboy fly either.
I think money.
Yeah, I mean, because look,
it's Beast Boy too. That's the budget right there too. That's why we get the line.
I told you before, when you watch The Flash, there's a reason why when they fight bad guys, it's usually in the same places.
Yeah,
in the same places, because they're not going to spend money on location. You got to spend money on making him look good when he runs fast. So that's your
but
right
there. But it's HBO Max, right? Money into it.
Max could be like, look, I don't know if people are still interested in Titans. I'll give y'all 10 million. Make it work. Like, make it work.
Make it work.
Make it work. That's all you're getting. Make it work. But all right, Shekinah, Trevon, did you guys want anything else to say? Did you have anything else to say about Titans before we moved on? No. Yeah.
Excited for Raven to come back. That's about it. I mean, right. Excited for Raven to come back.
Yeah. Same here. All right, Shekinah, I'm gonna kick it to you to start. What were your thoughts on Peggy as Captain America? Well,
I think it was cute. Like, I think it was a nice little, cute little story. Like, I could never see it. Like, people are like, oh no, live action. I think it belongs in cartoon. I never want to see that live action. I would never want to see that live action ever. I'm so sorry.
I do. Just once.
I wouldn't.
Why?
I can't describe why. It's like,
okay.
You know when you know a story and then you just seeing it in a different way. I like that it was a cartoon. I'd like that it was a cartoon. I can visualize it. Like, just let's leave it there.
Well, I don't want her to replace Steve's story. I just want her to
of course.
be in the multiverse thing. Yeah.
No, I mean, look, John, you're my witness. I said this Wednesday. I said the same thing Shekinah saying. I don't need to see anything that's happening in What If in live action. Keep it contained. Keep it to where you craziness here and your more logical stuff in your live action. So everything that people want, where they want, have Hugh Jackman voice Wolverine in What If? Sure, because it's inconsequential to the live action world. So whatever you guys you want Toby to come be the voice of your Spider-Man, sure. Just know you ain't seeing it in live action. So to me,
I'm just saying, if the actor can actually do the role in live action, we're gonna call for it. Like, she can actually do it. It's not far-fetched for her to do it.
But wait, like, I don't understand that logic, because none of you ever think that with anything. Like, do you listen to Young Justice and go, well, what's his name? The singer that voices Nightwing. I don't see anybody looking for him to be Nightwing in the Titan show.
I'm talking about actual, like, you talking about a singer. I'm talking about her because she's already been Agent Carter. So why not make her?
I see what you're saying.
We've already seen her as that character in live action. So why not?
Okay.
And for this show, they're going to be using things of people we've seen already in live action that are physically able to do these kind of roles. So I would be very cool to see her pop up in it one time. Like, it's possible.
I told you, Trevor, your cutoff is Doctor Strange 2. Anything after that close off the multiverse. So not in Doctor Strange 2. I ain't got no interest going forward. I don't want to see nothing from the multiverse. Close it, lock it, throw it in the garbage. Don't let it see its don't ever bring it to live action again. Let it be. Let it be done. Because I mean, and I told you, the only reason I feel so strongly about it is you guys are draining with all the stuff you want to see that you've seen before. You just want to see it with newer faces. And it's like, no, you've seen it before. Let Joe Blow have a shot to be Cyclops, so we can see how good his Cyclops is. But we never can. Y'all keep holding ass.
All right, let me say this. Okay, so they're saying what if it's got renewed for season 2, right? That should come out after Doctor Strange's movie, right? When the multiverse should be closed, and they keep saying this show is canon. So how can they keep this show going if the multiverse is closed? I just like if you're going by that logic.
Remember, the multiverse is closed in the CW, but that doesn't mean other multiverses don't exist. That's where Stargirl is. Stargirl's in another world. So other worlds exist. You're just not bringing anything from those other worlds into your main continuity. So you can still play around however you want. What I mean by close is now that it's open and exposed, people now want to bring Wesley Snipes in. They want to bring Patrick Stewart in. They want to bring Toby in. I'm saying once it's closed, you can't do that. But they still exist out there for you to play around with. To me, like I said, it's one of those things. I'll give you a perfect example, Trevon. You know the Batgirl movie that's being made, right? We're going to talk about it. J.K. Simmons is reprising his role. If the word comes out tomorrow that Ben Affleck will be in that Batgirl movie, right? But it's not clear he's back as Batman full time. What do you think Twitter will be saying? Oh, Batfleck is back. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. We're already saying that right now by by J.K. Simmons being in it. That just tells us DCEU is continuing.
Right. So, once you open that door, you then can't close it because then you'll have. That's why I said agreeing to let Zach do his movie doesn't end the conversation. It only expands it because now
release the air cut. Yeah.
Because people are like, it's just a better movie. You know, it's a better movie. Why not continue that? So to me, I'm not a fan of we got it. It's done. Let's Robert's Batman now. Let's try to let's use all of our power to get that Batman into canon. Let's get that Batman into canon and let's Ben ride off into the sunset. He wanted to. Let's let him go.
But it's not happening. It's not happening though. Like you see, they continue in it.
Why it's not?
We got Batfleck in Flash. We got Keaton in Flash. I don't know what's going on with that. And now we got
not happening.
Him back in Batgirl.
You have too many people that still hold on to Ben coming back as Batman. And if you're the studio, you want to hold on to all the good press you got. So it's like people like Ben, so I'll hold on to him for the future. They may like Robert, so I'll hold on to. So all it is if the community could come together and just go, Robert's our Batman. Guarantee you tomorrow he'd be in the DCEU. But because y'all are all so divided and people wanting a breath of fresh air and people wanting the old back, it's split. So the studio's just like, well, I'm going to hang on to all these toys and just see which ones they want to play with. And then
I feel like it's more split because we just don't trust WB. so it's like we try to, try to hold on what we got.
I don't know. Because look at this. The Suicide Squad just dropped, right? You enjoyed it, Trevon? You enjoyed it, right?
Yeah.
Y'all still asking for David Ayer's cut. Why does it matter at this point? You just got a good Suicide Squad movie.
Because he put out that long thing that made me tear up a little bit, and I'm sorry I want it now. Sorry.
Did. But
did you see the picture? Did you see the picture from today?
I did. I did. But to me, it's like that's where the divide comes from. The divide comes from, God damn, I just gave y'all a good Suicide Squad movie. Now you want me to fund a past Suicide Squad movie?
Yes. No sense. You want HBO Max content, right? You want HBO Max content, right? There's some content for you.
This is what I'm talking about, Shekinah. This is what
I know. I get it, but
never be divided. So what if fans will fight tooth and nail to get more craziness out of this? What if bring it into canon? But okay, so I want to ask you this, Shekinah. With seeing how it ended, are you interested in seeing a possible Avengers within What If, an Avengers-led team with Peggy?
I thought that's what they were gonna do anyway. But the way it ended, I thought that I know it's like individual stories every time, but I kind of wanted to see like a follow up from there. That would have been a nice thing. I don't mind that. Like I don't want to see live action, but I want to see a follow up from there. That would have been good. I will say, hold on, let me add. I love Sebastian Stan so much, but I don't think he's a good voice actor. I don't. He just seemed. I feel like he was just way too animated. Like it was like a bit too much. Like he just gave a bit too much. Like toned it down a tiny bit. I would have loved it, but he just went over the top a tiny bit. And I love him, but that was so. He was like, oh my god! Like, it was just like, It was like, oh, okay. This is your first time.
I wonder if this is his first time. Yeah, about to say I wonder if it was his first time.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I think it is. I mean, even when you see the behind the scenes and you see him acting out while he's doing you just see a little extra, and it's just like, all right, Sebastian.
Yeah. I mean, the enthusiasm is cute, but yeah, exactly. But
like,
oh well.
Lines. Why are you so excited? Like, relax. Back, right? Like, he was
actually that paycheck.
He was
he got to actually work out. Just had to talk. That's what he's excited about.
Fighting for his job. Like, he thought if he didn't do good, they'd never bring him back. So he was just like, shit, well, hold on. He'll be back, man. Relax. But yeah, I mean, I saw the car commercial that they were promoting where it showed Peggy, T'Challa's Star-Lord, Gamora in Thanos' armor, and like a few other people in a circle. So I was just like, oh shit, well, they are building their own Avengers within this universe. Because it makes sense, you know, Peggy
it does.
Through that portal and seeing Fury in Hawkeye.
Yeah.
That's your Captain America. We were saying, Shekinah, and I'm curious your thoughts on this. It confused me because her color scheme was of that of Captain Britain. But they just kept calling Peggy, and it was just like, his name isn't Captain Rogers, it's Captain America. So either call her Captain America, call her Captain Britain. So what were you?
People on TikTok were fighting about this for forever. I kept seeing it all over my feed. People were fighting about it. I'm not joking. People were like, this is Captain Britain, but it also isn't at the same time. Why have you given her the flat? Let's not even get into that because that's But people were fighting about it because it doesn't really make any sense. It's meant to be Captain America. Why have you done like? You either call her Captain America or that's not Captain America. The Captain Carter thing, I understand what you were doing, but it's Captain America. Like, why give her that the flag if you're gonna call her Captain? Like, it doesn't make sense. I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
Stark gave it to her because obviously that's where she's from. So And you couldn't call her Captain Britain because she doesn't fight for Britain. You're fighting for America, but not in American colors. So that's why I was just like, I think you're really confusing people. Like, picture if you're the Germans and you're just like, yeah, what the fuck did we
going on? Exactly.
Like, get Britain on the phone real quick. Like, what do we
do? Literally.
I want to have a bit. I want to have. Now I'm starting to think about like her coming back in normal time or current times, like in the Avengers world, like she just did at the end. But she's still wearing that. Is she going to keep wearing that, or they gonna put her in American?
No.
Outfit? Like, I wonder.
In the car commercial I was talking about, she still had it on. So I don't know. Look, again, I get it.
Might just ignore it.
No, and if they do, that's fine. I get it. But I'm just saying, why not just go the route of Captain Britain? You know, I get it. She's not fighting for Britain, so that would just make things even more confusing. So then I said, well, just give her Captain America's color scheme. Because she's essentially your Captain America. Steve isn't Captain America at the time, clearly. So just call her Captain America. I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know that Chadwick Boseman is going to be what is version of Star-Lord, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna call him Starcraft or Star Panther. Like
Star Panther.
He's Star-Lord. So if he's gonna have the same concept as Star-Lord, I don't know why Peggy can't either. But I'm sorry, go ahead, Trevon.
I was gonna say, like, in the Agent Carter show, where was it? Do you remember where she was like located?
Wait,
where was it? Where was she located in the Agent Carter show? Like, I'm trying to remember. Was she in America or was she in?
Yeah, she was in.
That's so weird. Like, why didn't they just give her? Okay, it's just, I don't know. Now I'm starting to think about it more about the suit and why why they put it just like American suit. I don't know. Okay, well,
I mean, look, again, Stark is the one that designed it, and he designed
right.
the homage to where she's from. So I
Right.
get why she has it. That's not
Yeah.
my problem.
Right. The name, yeah.
That's
The
it.
name.
To me,
Yeah.
again, it's not a problem. It's just a bit confusing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, wait, huh? It's like saying Nightwing in another world is Batman, but his color scheme is just drastically it's the Robin suit, just with a bat on. It's just like, wait, you went out of your way to do that. Why? Like, just put the bat on. But I mean, Shekinah, did you like how they subtly changed a few things from the actual first Avenger movie? Like when the doctor asked her, would she prefer to be up in the room? She said no. But in the real movie, she said yes. It's all lit. So they were like all intricate changes that they made. Did you notice those?
Yeah. I think those little changes obviously are what like made everything different. I think they're important to the story. So I like that they added those little changes. It made sense to the story.
Yeah, I even liked it when Trevon, I think Trevon and Tia were talking about this. But when she saved Bucky and he goes, oof, you almost took my arm.
Took my arm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, all right,
yeah. Yeah.
My last question for you, Shekinah, is because Trevon pointed this out, and it's really interesting. Do you think it was a missed opportunity not making Steve into the Winter Soldier? Like remember when
I thought that's what they were going to do when the thing exploded. I thought me and my brother were like, why would you not do that? Like that's what I thought they were hinting at. But it's okay. I think it was a missed opportunity. I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. I think they should have done it though. They missed out.
Do you think now, because she went into the portal and left them way back in time with her, right? So is it possible they could still be the Winter Soldier? Like they could have still captured them later? Like I wonder, like we won't see it, but you think they could do it, like if they wanted like capture him down the line. I just wonder if they could just do something like that, just very kind of like, oh, they wanted him to be Winter Soldier. He got captured 70 years ago. Like, he's still fighting.
I mean, they could go the route of saying Bucky was still
captured,
retcon it for sure. I'm just saying it was a missed opportunity because literally it's right there. So to do it in real time rather than just trying to retcon it, it's like, well, it was right there. Just do it. But they decided not to, which is fine because who knows? Maybe in Peggy's world there is no Winter Soldier. Stark still had his parents. They weren't killed by the Winter Soldier. This might have really changed the trajectory of everything. I mean, we saw in the trailer where Killmonger saves clearly didn't create the arc reactor because he didn't need it. So Iron Man, if that's the case.
But he was still out there testing weapons. So that means he still became himself, I guess, right? Because he was saved by
Stark wasn't he say weapons. He always sold weapons. So that
I'm saying like we were just talking about the trajectory of him still having his parents. Maybe it would have never became the Tony Stark that we know, but it seemed like he still did since Killmonger saved him.
Right.
So he's still out there.
Who knows? Who knows? But we know that he didn't create Iron Man there. Or assume so, because again, I haven't seen the episode, none of us have. But we can assume that changed him becoming Iron Man. So but that's what's fun about What If being contained and being its own thing is have fun. Do what you want. Say Killmonger saved Stark and maybe gave Killmonger the weapons he was looking for to leverage the war that he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So it changes a lot. It really does. It really does. T'Challa now doesn't die because Killmonger maybe doesn't feel the need to go there because he has his own weapons that he can wage his own war to. So like I said, What If changes a lot. But I'm gonna give you Shekinah the same warning I gave them. This next episode, it's gonna make you cry. It's gonna make
I cry everything, so I'm ready.
Me too. I did too.
It's gonna make you cry from the start all the way to the end of the episode, where you just go, it's gonna be ugly cry too. It's gonna be
no
ugly cry for sure. All right, Shekinah. So we didn't get a chance to actually talk to you about this, or I don't think I got a chance to talk to Trevon either. So you actually can go for the both can go for the first time. But what were your thoughts on the Suicide Squad? James Gunn's The Suicide Squad.
Okay. I don't think I've like burst out laughing in the cinema in like a long time. And there was a scene, I don't remember what, no, it was a scene when um Peacemaker and Bloodsport were like going around that camp and they were having like they were killing everyone, but it was the most ridiculous kills. And they got there and they realized it was the freedom fighters. I literally laughed out loud. I was like, this is like it was just like it was comedy and it didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like they tried really hard to write that. It was so natural, which is what I loved about that. Overall, the film was, I think, I don't want to give it a too high rating, and I'm not going to give it a number, but I will say, I don't want to put it top DCU movies, but I feel like I have to. Like, it was like a film I didn't like. Sometimes I feel like I nitpick with DCU movies. I feel like I nitpick. I was like, okay, yeah, this was wrong. But I feel like I had a hard time looking for things that were wrong. I think I literally cried when Rick Flag died, because what do you mean Rick Flag is gone? What do you mean? Like I mean, we didn't see his body after. We always say like if you don't see the body, but I mean, yeah, he's probably dead as rubble or whatever. But that was actually like heartbreaking. How can you kill Rick Flag? And then even like Pete Davidson, he went so early in the film, and I was expecting him to last a little bit longer. I was thinking you really had this man in this film for like 5 seconds, because it literally was 5 seconds that you had this man in the film. What else? There was so much. I really wish I like had like collected experience, but there was so much that I loved about the film. I didn't really not like anything about it. I really, really loved it. I think Ratcatcher 2, I hate rats so much, but for some reason she made me I hate rats so much. But like I sort of warmed to the idea of them a little tiny bit. I loved Bloodsport. Like I think Idris Elba really did an amazing job. Like I think he stole the show. Like he was so good. And John Cena as well. I love John Cena too. So those are my favorite 3 people in the movie.
Yeah, it sucks because there's really not any room for Bloodsport going forward.
I know.
I mean, he was supposed to be Deadshot. You decided to side with Will and keep Will as Deadshot. So now, when you go to do your third movie, and Will's free to do the third movie, I don't need 2 people that do the exact same thing. Yeah, and they even poked fun at it with Peacemaker and what's his name? Bloodsport.
Bloodsport.
I'm like, I don't ever need redundancies. Like it's too much. It really is.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, well, if he can do that, why do I need you? I don't need you.
Yeah.
I'm here. You know, it's and you know, I think what really garnished that in my head was A, the comic books never have redundancies, and B, you watch The Flash and you're just like, all right, what are your powers? Oh, I can just like open portals. And it's like, well, how does that really help this against the speedster I'm fighting? Can you run fast? No. Well, then I should probably call somebody else who can run fast, right? Like, I don't think I need you. So to me, no, and I just remember, Trevon, and I apologize. You were with us when we did our review on the Suicide Squad, because you were very fond of the of Cena promoting whatever underwear that was that he was.
Yes, great scene, absolutely. Best scene in the movie. And the worst scene in the movie is the rats. I said on my thing that I can't watch it again. The rats was too much for me. Too much. The movie's great. Rats too much. I can't do it again. Nope.
Yeah, my issues with it, Shekinah, were more fundamental. I didn't like you killing off 2 major Flash villains. Yeah, I didn't like you.
Remember that
In Boomerang. I wasn't a fan. A lot of people kept saying he went out like a badass. I don't.
He didn't. That was a rubbish. That was an awful way to that. What awful way to that. Awful.
I think Rick Flag went out like a badass. I think went out like a badass. I think Boomerang died as comically as everybody else on that island that died. So to me, that was a badass. So no, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of you telling me that the Digger Harkness that I get in a future Flash movie is his son. I don't like any of that. I don't like any of that. And it's why I was, when he said he wasn't going to do an Elseworld Suicide Squad movie, it was going to be somewhat of a continuation. I was just like, shit, he's going to kill Boomerang. He's going to. He is. Because if any of the reports are true and the main villain for this Flashpoint movie is actually Barry, that means it's a good chance you have a speedster villain for the second one, which is probably Eobard, and then you probably have a speedster for the third and final Flash movie. So it probably means you're not going rogues, you're not going the Thinker, you're not really going outside the box. But I'm sorry, go ahead, Shekinah.
Sorry, you just spoke about the Flash movie, and I don't like the idea of Barry being the villain in that movie, and it just, my mind is just, the wheels are turning, and I'm just getting angry all over again. What do you actually mean? What do you mean? Sorry, we will rant. I don't want to rant too much. Too many things. No.
Go ahead, rant, please. I want to hear it. Go ahead.
He messed with the Speed Force too much.
I just can't get my head around this. Like, I was thinking about no, you started me off. No. I was talking to my friend the other day, and I was just saying that basically WB and this whole fiasco of everything, right? Basically my friend pointed out that DC have never built a world. It's always been Superman movie 1 and 2 and 3, Batman movie 1 and 2 and 3, Superman movie another 10 years down the line 1 or 2 or 3. They've never had the experience of building a world, which is why everything is so messy. Like, you did a TV world, you did a movie world, whereas Marvel, you wouldn't have a Marvel TV show and you have multiple characters that I'm saying. You wouldn't have an Iron Man and a Marvel TV show and an Iron Man and a Marvel movie. Like, it wouldn't make sense. Do you know what I mean? It'd always be separate. So those are the little things I have. So you've seen how the Flash TV show has gone, and you've seen us with constant villains that are speedsters. Like, we would want something different in the movie. Like, we are very, very tired of speedsters. I mean, it makes sense. It's a Flash movie, whatever. But we need something new. Give us something fresh.
It's so funny you say that, because on the TV show, people were complaining. They were like, bring back speedster villains, because they got tired of the other villains.
I personally said that because the villains you were using were boring. They were like, what is this?
Yeah.
But to me, Eobard Thawne is to Barry what Lex is to Superman and what Joker is to Batman. It's a constant. You always see. So to know that they're taking from Flashpoint, but there may not be, let me not say it definitively, because I don't know. This is all rumor speculation. If there is no Eobard Thawne, that movie should not call itself Flashpoint. It shouldn't even lend on the fact that it's being adapted from Flashpoint.
Yeah.
The whole point was, for people that do not know, Barry went back in time to save his mom from being murdered by Eobard Thawne. But if Barry is the one that kills his mom, do you know how yucky that makes the whole story of Barry?
Oh God.
I just think they only care about resetting certain things. That's all I think they care about.
Ways to do it. It's called a soft reset. It's what
I know, but they don't want to do it.
They literally did not mention anything that happened in that first movie. Nothing. But it was a continuation. So it was your soft reboot. You could soft reboot it. They're just afraid because, like I said, we are divided. So they're catering to two separate kinds of people. The ones that want to see the DCEU continue and the ones that don't really care about continuity and will take 6 to 7 damn Supermans at one time and be okay with it. They're catering. That's why I just feel like if we would come together under one thought, they would.
We can't come together.
I know
there's no way.
I mean, I feel like you say that they care, they're trying to like do both sides, but I feel like it was a slap in the face to the DCEU people when they called it the Suicide Squad. I just felt like that was funny to me.
I think they only did that because that's what it was called in the comics. And
I know, but
it's way of getting away from calling it Suicide Squad 2 because it's not a sequel. So you have to separate it. So like if someone goes to type in Suicide Squad, they'll get Heirs, and then you have to type in the Suicide Squad to get James Gunn's. So it wasn't necessarily that. It was just their way of going, how can we separate ourselves from this first movie without making it so obvious we want to separate ourselves? Just throw a "the" there.
They're in such a terrible spot. I don't know. Just so much. DC is just a mess.
I said it once they agreed that they no longer wanted to move forward with Zach and his vision. Should have just rebooted it all right there. You could have used the same characters. Just reboot it. Even if you wanted to do a soft reboot. Just say, hey, everything you saw before doesn't exist anymore. Our Batman is 32, not 54.
They could have done that. They could have just, had the Batman, but they kind of kept going with everything else. So I was like, okay. The Suicide Squad. Okay.
There are people that want everything of the DCEU to stay the same. They want Ben, they want Henry, they want Gal, they want Jason. I know. Look, let me say this. There's nothing wrong with that. I would love nothing more than for DC to be cohesive, whether it's left or right.
Yeah.
But my problem is I don't like retired Batmans. I don't like Batman saying, you know what, it's time to pass on. I don't like it. You didn't establish.
No, you don't. We know you don't. You know you don't. You said it. You said it.
What? Why is it everybody else is young and Batman has to be 50? Why? Superman is young and spry. Aquaman, young.
Well, I mean, you got Robert Pattinson coming. I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
Point, put him in the DCEU. So we have a nucleus of youth heading into the future. Because think about it like this, right? Aquaman's heading into its second movie. Wonder Woman is heading into her third, right? There's been no mention of a Donna Troy. There's been no mention of an Aqualad. There's been no mention of a Superboy. There's no goddamn Robin. So it's like they literally built the DCEU with no future in mind. Remember, Zach's plan was to kill Batman with no successor. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's no one there thought long term. And I'm not saying
why.
They never do though. They never do.
Why? The question is why. The question is, why didn't you think long term? Why weren't you thinking long term?
Gotta blame
why?
Gotta blame Zach. That was Zach's vision. Zach's vision was Batman dies, and then it's everything left over. Remember that Justice League movie he was pitching, where turns out Superman's son was really Bruce's. Bruce died. They raised his son to be the new Batman. All that sounds like the most idiotic shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, if your whole plan was for Bruce to have a son that was his successor, why did you kill Dick Grayson? Like, that's essentially what Dick Grayson is. Without blood ties, that is Bruce's son that carries on the legacy. Why? That's my point. So to me, it's, Aquaman 2, I would like to hear that there's an Aqualad. Because there were two. I would like to hear there was an Aqualad. Preferably Door. From Young Justice. I would like to hear Wonder Woman 3, there's a Donna Troy. So if ever Gal Gadot says, you know what, I don't want to do this no more, you can just carry on with Wonder Girl. That's the whole point. They're supposed to.
I mean, okay. I mean, I get what you're saying about Zach's story. I don't know. I feel like he has the most cohesive story they've ever done to be. I mean, but it's fine. I get it.
Right.
Everybody.
Let me just ask you this, and then we can move on. You would really be okay with killing Batman off? That's cohesive to you?
I mean, he's kind of tired. The way they made him, he's kind of old and jaded and all over it.
And that's that's how Zach made him. That is,
I know.
One off of Batman. I will forever hate Frank Miller and love Frank Miller. It's one of the best Batman stories, but it belongs in a book, in an animated movie, not in live action. It's not practical.
I mean, let me know.
But I'm saying, I'm saying if you get mad at that, I mean, like you said, you just say it belongs in a book or whatever. I mean, it was a story that he adapted. It's not like it's an unheard story that he made up out of nowhere. Well, it's not like it's a unknown thing.
What he was like Justice League was, but no, my problem is you starting again. If you wanted to make Batman 50, You do you. But don't kill off his Robin and then have no other successor there. So all right, so Bruce Wayne dies. What the fuck do you think Gotham is? While you have to raise that child for the next 20 he's old enough.
I mean, he figured out that once that Robin died, he was like, okay, I can't do this again. I can't pull another kid into this, which makes sense. I always thought it was weird for Batman to have a kid running around with him anyway. But you know,
in the story he was adapted,
he got the consequences of it.
But that wasn't even the case in the story he was adapting. He went and got Carrie Kelly. He went and got Carrie Kelly, faked his death, and then they created a whole new society for Batman and his legions to protect Gotham. Here's the thing. If you know Batman,
I'm talking about Zach's stories, not you're talking about Frank Miller's story.
Right.
I was talking about Zach.
Which makes no sense. But to me, what Titans and Zach don't truly understand about Batman is if there's one thing that matters to him, it's Gotham. And under no circumstance would he leave it unintended. What? Batwoman saying he just disappeared would never happen. Titan saying, well, he said, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna kill Joker and leave. That would leave. Like these are just. It's not Batman. It's just not.
It sounds like a lot of people don't understand the Batman you want. So I don't know.
It's not the Batman. It's who Batman is.
I'm just saying, it's a lot of people not doing that Batman that you talk about. Like, so
where Batman just openly says, you know what, murder today, and then you know what, I'm gonna just skate off into the sunset.
It doesn't make sense. I agree. It doesn't make any sense.
Let's hope the new one does what you are looking for, I guess. I mean, hopefully it does.
It's already on a good start. He's young.
Is it? I ain't seen it yet. So let's wait.
I promise you guys, I'm not asking for a lot here. I'm just asking for a youthful Batman that I could see multiple movies in. A Batman
That's another problem with DC. That's another problem with Warner Brothers. They're reactionary. If the movie doesn't do amazing money, they'll cancel it.
You hit the nail on the head. They're not proactive. They're reactive. They only react to what. It's so frustrating.
That's the problem.
Sorry, I don't want to scream. Sorry.
I wish they had. Like, I want them to have a plan and stick to it, but I just feel like they don't. Like, they're just going to go with this one movie, and if it doesn't do what they want, they'll cancel just like everything else.
They take it one movie at a time, and it should have been like 5 movies at a time. That's how it should have been. Like, you should have done like blocks at a time. For them, it's always one at a time. Let's see how this one goes. Then let's plan the next one. You should have 5 ready to go. Have your things ready to go. Why are you doing it one by one? That doesn't make any sense. Like, who does that?
I mean, again, the biggest reason why Warner Brothers is how it is division. The division.
Yeah.
And the media. Because a lot of fans enjoyed BVS. The media did not. A lot of fans enjoyed that first Justice League. The media did not. And then once the fans heard Zack, was blackballed and wasn't allowed to do what he wanted, then the fan base on Justice League became split. And then we see where we are today. So speaking of multiverse, that's what Warner Brothers split into. A critics multiverse, a fans multiverse, Snyderverse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's split into its own thing. So at the end of the day, it's the division amongst us that will always contribute to them being reactionary. They can't do anything because again, I just told you guys, they gave you a great Suicide Squad movie. And a lot of your answers to that was, but I want more. Give me a. And it's like, well, first you said we don't do good movies. We did a good movie. Now you telling me you want a movie that already existed? We just did that for y'all. And it didn't work out right for us. So to me, it's just the idea of we have to start to understand the Batman. That's the next DCEU movie to come out, right? If that comes out, great. We can't go, but I want my Ben cut. Where's Ben's Batman? We got to embrace what they give us.
The problem is we're going to see him in The Flash. So it's like
we know this. This is the one thing we can hang our hat on. This is the only thing we can hang our hat on. He is only doing this because he is legally obligated.
Right.
So if he decides he wants to come back later, that's a whole nother conversation we can have about how frustrating that is, right? But if he stays gone, he was only returning as a swan song to say goodbye. So I get that. So that's not them trying to be confusing. It's, well, shit, we paid you to be in 5 appearances. This is your 5th. Suit up.
Now my question about that though is, can you I just think about the outrage if they do some kind of flash mode where Keaton replaces him or something like that, where it replaces him or Supergirl replaces.
Not grandpa.
I'm just saying.
Replaces.
I want, like you're saying, this is his last movie. What are they gonna do with him? They gonna kill him or replace him?
No,
so like what's
the rumor is Keaton's Batman will become the Nick Fury of the DCEU. That's the rumor.
Which is so crazy.
Not
like
grandpa.
Imagine.
Well, no, he wouldn't suit up Shekinah. So a lot of people are believing that he will either lead to Chris McKay's Nightwing, which wouldn't make sense. But if you're saying it's a whole new reality, maybe. Or people are saying we're about to get Terry McGinnis leading the DCEU, which I hate even more.
It's such a mess.
Either way you go, if that is true.
It's so funny. I'm gonna watch all of it, but I'm just saying, it's just funny. I'm gonna sit there and watch all of this, but it's just like, wow.
I hate watch something in my life, but if you give me Terry McGinnis, I will hate watch the hell out of that. I will hate watch it all. I will. I can't.
Supergirl replaces Superman, gonna be a mess. But if they do that, it's gonna be a mess.
I don't think she will.
That suit real similar.
Well, of course the suit's gonna be similar. They're both from Krypton. The suit similar. It shouldn't look different. But I think they're testing the water, seeing if Batgirl can work, if Supergirl can work. But yeah, it still bodes the question: where's your Batman and Superman? I can't speak anymore.
So fun.
I don't know, but look, it's
so much DC content. Let's put it that way. Let's enjoy that. A lot of DC content.
Oh boy, it's like I want to enjoy the DC content, but you're giving me too much.
Yeah.
Like, well, what's the main one? You know what it reminds me? If you ever been around a kid, you know when a kid gets really excited and they're telling you about their day, and then they're telling you about their yesterday, and then what they want to do. It's like, listen, sit down. You're going to tell me one story that you expect me to hear about, and then I'm tuning the rest of that shit out. Okay? You want to talk about today? Great. You got me for that. The rest you got to throw in the garbage. So with Warner Brothers, it's what am I supposed to be paying attention to, right? The rumor has it Grant Gustin will be in Ezra Miller's Flash, showing it from Ezra Miller's point of view of when they first met up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. But once you do that, you have to explain very carefully to people that the shows in the movies do not connect outside of this one aberration.
Oh,
listen, once they did it on the TV show, we were like, oh, they can do everything now, right? We can bring everybody in now, right? Once they did it on the TV show, it was a wrap. I was like, oh, y'all can do that now? Oh, okay. Let's go. And they did nothing else.
No, their whole point was it was a mistake. It wasn't supposed to happen. Barry wasn't supposed to see himself. It was them kind of colliding at the same point in time. So it was an aberration. It's not something to look forward to. But you got to explain that.
Right.
You know? So hopefully the movie does that, because anyway. Oh, man, stressful.
You know one good thing about WB that I hope they stick with completely is this Fantastic Beasts 5 movies that they said they're doing. She literally said it in the press conference. We have 5 movies. I was like, please do it, because I know where it's leading.
5?
It's 5. She said she's doing 5. And I was like, please do all 5. Please do all 5, WB. Please do not pull back. Do all 5. Like, please.
Okay.
Like, do them. Yeah, so.
I do enjoy my Fantastic Beasts. I did not like that second one, but I do enjoy the world that it's built. That's
I love where the story's going.
Right. Yeah. I would enjoy it more if it was its own story rather than telling a prequel, essentially. I think because then you can just get away with a whole lot more. You can take chances. You can maybe not be as adventurous as you would like them to be. But when you know it leads to something you've already seen, it's like you got to be really careful on what you change on your way down.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So to me, it's like Because think about it, everybody that she had casted, it's like you could have built a whole new world on its own of just
Yeah.
but knowing that it connects is just like, oof, be careful.
Her doing the Ministry of Magic in United States, and like it's just very very cool. Like even the school they mentioned, I was like, oh, okay, but it's leading somewhere that Hogwarts is the ultimate thing. So it's like Ilvermorny would be cool to explore. Like you didn't mention the school, like let's use it. Use these mentions. Hope they do a TV show. That's what I want. I need them to use the Harry Potter IP.
I think
to its full power.
Really exists as a TV show. I don't think it needs to have a life in the theaters as much anymore. Branch off, do something more advanced, something completely not connected to the world of it.
Right.
And I think you'll bring in a whole new fan base with being adventurous like that. But all right, just a few more topics before we get out of here. Shekinah, I want to start with you. J.K. Simmons reprising his role as Commissioner Gordon in the Batgirl movie. How do you feel about that?
What did we just say? Batgirl, where's Batman? Batgirl, where's Batman? Like, I mean, obviously, I know it's her movie, but how are you explaining her relationship with Batman? Who's her Batman? If J.K. Simmons is there, then it has to be Ben. But is Ben like that's my only issue?
Now? Is it Keaton?
That is my main issue. I don't mind the movie. Wait, is it just going to be on HBO Max or is it going to be?
Yes, HBO Max.
Why don't they have faith in these characters? Why would you put it in? Why don't you have faith? Same with Blue Beetle. Why is it
exactly? You look at the characters; they all have something in common. They have something in common.
I think, how can you have so little faith that you won't even try? You just put it on. We don't get HBO Max in this country, so we don't have it here.
Oh.
So.
Wait, so
it go on Netflix, right? Doesn't stuff go on Netflix?
I don't know. We don't have HBO Max here. We don't have it. I don't know which
I thought
service will pick it up.
Okay, I thought it goes on Netflix for you guys.
How did you get Titans?
Okay. Yeah, Titans. Where does it go on?
Titans goes on Netflix like a billion years later. It always goes on a billion years later. But I don't like whatever's on HBO Max always finds its way to us. But I have no idea. It depends on which streaming service picks it up here. Like it's random. It's not a set thing.
Wait, so how did the first 3 episodes?
Magic.
Love it.
No problem. Say less. No, I mean, look, there's a way to do Batgirl without showing Batman. Obviously, she's taking down more a smaller scale mission in Gotham, and you can end it with Gordon finding out that his daughter is Batgirl, and then when he shines the light, it's not because a crime's happening. It's to introduce Batgirl to Batman, because he has such a good relationship with Batman. And then the end credit scene is seeing the two of them together. So you can do that. Batman's handling the Joker or Mr. Freeze or something, and her mission is obviously not something stupid, but something on a way smaller degree than Joker or Bane or Mr. Freeze or something like that.
Yeah.
But how can you say that when you just said what you said about Batwoman? I don't understand. Like you say it's not okay for him to not be in that show, but it's okay for him not to be in the Batgirl?
No. That's not what I said.
I'm just asking.
It's not okay to say that Batman disappeared from Gotham. I'm saying in this instance, he's still in Gotham. I just don't
know that.
No. I'm saying in my example, I'm saying he's in Gotham fighting a bigger mission within Gotham. So she's handling something more smaller scale. In Woman, they just said he disappeared. Didn't tell us why, how. Alfred disappeared too. It's what? So everybody.
Yes, I'm curious how this movie. Yeah, I'm very curious about this movie though.
And even like Titans saying what happened to Alfred in Titans.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hey. But yeah, so to me, I think that's the way you could do it, to where it works. You don't have to have Batman on screen, but he's in Gotham. He's what's motivating her, inspiring her. And then you get the end credit scene, quite like Shazam. but clearly,
Okay.
hopefully we could see all of Batman and not just literally from the shoulders down. But you know how Superman clearly was Shazam's hero.
Right.
Yeah.
Batman is clearly hers, so the end credit scene could be the same thing. She's on top of the roof with Commissioner Gordon, and then boom, who comes out of the shadows? Batman. And he's like, I got somebody I want you to meet. And then boom, Batman, Batgirl. Perfect. Boom.
Yeah.
So to me, perfect way to do it is to do it like that. But Trevon, what are your thoughts on J.K. Simmons coming back?
It was a little bit of shock to me, honestly. I was like, oh, okay. So they're bringing him back. It just opens up, once you say that, it just opens up so many thoughts in your head because he's DCEU. So that connects it to everything else. So it's like, it's just weird. I don't know. It's just a weird movie to do to me. It's just like, I don't know. Like, I'm excited for her and everything, but it's just another weird movie that's like disjointed. But then you add J.K. I thought it was gonna be like a separate thing or something, and then you add J.K. Simmons. Like, oh, it's just weird. I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. Honestly, it's just like cool. I'm gonna watch it, of course. Just like Blue Beetle, it's still, they're both weird movies to do to me. Like, that's Blue Beetle completely separate. They haven't mentioned anybody else being in his movie yet, I don't think. So it's like, if they say somebody random is in that, I'm like, oh, God, this stuff doesn't make any sense. But he does, like, I just wonder. I don't know.
Blue Beetle, you could get away with being its own thing because he's connected to characters they've not introduced in the DCEU. So Ted Kord was the original Blue Beetle.
Right.
So you introduce that. We don't have a Ted Kord in the DCEU. So you can get away with Blue Beetle just being whatever you want it to be till you decide to connect it. But Jaime, I've been saying it for forever. Jaime is the one who should have been in Justice League, not Cyborg. So to me, I hope that's the goal: is to get Cyborg the hell up out of the Justice League, to put Jaime there. He just makes more sense on the Titans than Cyborg does. So to me, I hope that's the plan. I hope. But if not, then I don't know. I don't know how to consume this stuff anymore, man. I don't know what to care about, what not to care about. But I can do this. 2 genius people on the Justice League is redundant. And I don't need Batman and Cyborg. One of them's got to go. One of them. So hopefully Jaime does replace Cyborg, and Cyborg can go live within the Titans where he belongs. Sorry, you should never. I don't know why Jeff Johns did it. I will forever hate Jeff Johns for it. He's not a Justice League member. He kind of Batman useless. Look at Justice League. Look at that end battle. Look at what everybody else was doing, and then look at what Batman.
Oh no!
You need to know about this lineup of the Justice League with Cyborg there. Batman is supposed to be your brains and your smarts, but if Cyborg, who is a living computer, is there, it's kind of just like, well, wait, what do you do again? Money? Yeah, you're gonna have to go, dog. I can't. No, you can't pay anybody off in this fight. You got to leave. So to me, get Jaime in there, who takes up your whole tech aspect of Cyborg. Obviously the Scarab is smart on its own, but it's not a living computer like Cyborg. Put Cyborg with the Titans, especially if Ray Fisher's leading it. Team him up with, Dick Grayson, Starfire, and just build the Titans universe. But him being part of the Justice League going forward, under no circumstances should that come.
You're saying like there's going to be a Justice League going forward. I don't think there will be anymore.
I think as long as you see Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot existing, there's always hope for a Justice League.
See, that's the thing I think they're going to fix with this Flashpoint. I think they're going to like wipe that out somehow.
Well, the guy,
that's what I think.
The guy from Warner did say it'll be a long time before we get another Justice League movie.
Yeah, sure.
All I took that as was I don't have a Justice League right now. I don't know if Henry's back. I don't know what the hell's going on with Ben. So I took it as you have to rebuild this world in order to get another Justice League. I didn't take it as no, we don't want to do it anymore. You'll never get it again.
I know that. Yeah, I know they want to do it. Definitely.
Got to reshuffle the deck. So now the biggest question is, how do you reshuffle your deck? That's the question.
My question: do you want the Batman to be more Dark Knight, or do you want it to be connected like Justice League, or do you want him to connect to anything?
Oh, you asked me, do I want it Elseworld? Okay, I was like, I don't need
No,
it.
I'm saying the Batman coming. Do you want him to actually connect, or do you want it
Yeah.
more like Dark Knight?
No, I want him to
Okay.
connect. I
Okay.
said it before. I wanted them to, when they're talking about Michael B. Jordan being Superman or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
I'm like, sure. Tell Gal Gadot, it's been nice knowing you. Tell Aquaman and Momoa, it's been nice knowing you. Reboot it. Reboot it. Have your Superman be black if you want. Get a new Wonder Woman. Get a new Flash. Do it all. Just restart. Just restart it all. I mean, hell, James Wan just came out and said he probably won't be directing the third Aquaman. He doesn't even do sequels, let alone trilogies.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, if he's saying he doesn't even want to come back, just end it. And let's move forward.
We'll see how I mean, everything with WB depends on how the movie does anyway. So even if you want to come back, there might not be a third one anyway. let's be honest. So
that is true. I mean, hell, Wonder Woman's on her third, Momoa's on his second. You know, we can assume that'll be heading to its third. We can assume. Meanwhile, Henry's just like
Witcher. He's off the Witcher now. Bye.
Let me get angry regarding Henry. They have done Henry so dirty. If I was, don't get me angry regarding Henry. They've done him so dirty. They have done him so dirty. Are you telling me in his time he's going to see another Superman. He saw Tyler Hoechlin. Now he's going to see another Superman. What? Sorry. I can't do this anymore. I can't. Every time I talk about DC, I just get more. It feels I'm just so defeated at this point. I'm defeated. I can't do it. It's painful.
I mean, look, Ben wanted to be Batman, but the stress and the politics, kind of made him fall out of love with it. Picture him. He's just like, damn, Batman and Titans. Not Batman, but a Bruce Wayne and Titans, a Bruce Wayne and Batwoman, a whole new Batman in his own movie. And he's just like,
stop crying. I'm gonna stop crying because really and truly they've also done him dirty too. They've done him so dirty.
They were so sad because he had a bat cave and everything. I remember that time. I remember when he first got announced, and I was like, "Oh, I know he could say it." Oh,
yeah. Wait. What do you mean?
They said Ben had a bat cave or something. They said he has something built where it's like he's a super fan.
Really?
No, I'm saying.
Oh, you mean?
No, I'm talking about real life. Real life. Like he loves Batman that much. Like that's why I was like,
we saw his bat cave. It was
I'm talking about like real life. Yeah. Real life. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, look. At the end of the day, Warner Brothers will be Warner Brothers. We got to just take it as it is. I personally don't believe in just taking it as it is. I believe the more you do that, the more they stay stagnant, the more they feel the need not to change anything. I'm very much of the mindset of I will complain until you fix it. And if you don't fix it, I personally will just, and again, it doesn't hurt them at all. I'm not saying it to hurt them, but I'm not invested in your movies anymore. Your Joker 2, I won't be saying that. I didn't want you to make a Joker 1.
I can't believe they're doing that.
I didn't want you to make a Joker 1. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't ever need to see where my villains come from. I don't need to understand my villains. I told you guys. I don't like sympathetic villains. I just like a villain that was just like, yo, what time is it? 2:00? Yo, you want to go rob this bank? That's it. Simple as that. No more, no less. You know? So to me, I'm not a fan of it. I don't want these Elseworld movies. I don't want these movies where you're telling me it means nothing. I mean, hell, the Long Halloween that I thoroughly enjoyed, part 1 and 2. If they tell me that that's not canon, that connects with the Man of Tomorrow Superman or the Flash movie that they animated movie that they did, I have no interest in that going forward. I don't want to see any more Batman movies that don't connect. I get enough of that from the live action. Connect it. Connect it. I want connection from my animated world too. Sorry. It's what I grew up on. I tell people this all the time that are like, well, why does it matter if there's no Robin? Why does it matter if there's no, connection to anything? Anyone that grew up from the, I'd even go as far back as to say the 70s, to the early 2000s, you only know Batman with Superman or interacting with Superman, interacting with the Justice League.
Right.
No, I know the three of us grew up on Justice League Unlimited.
Yes.
So it's
God,
like,
what a show.
I would
What a
not want to
show.
see that come to life. What?
Yeah.
I always want to know that there's a Batman but no Superman, or a Superman but no Wonder Woman. I don't want that. So to me, it's like, it's idiotic to ask people who grew up with these. You know, it's like we also grew up on Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Picture if Kevin
Yes.
Feige had no interest in Avengers, in bringing any of them together. How stupid would that sound, right? We would go, well, what? First of all, Iron Man's already not, you know, he's personally my favorite Marvel character, but Iron Man's not interesting enough for you to tell me I have to see 3 movies of him that lead nowhere. What?
Right.
I would say the best performances RDJ gave is in his interaction with other heroes.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, bro, come on, no. That's the stupid concept of not wanting a connected universe.
You know, that's the sad part about this, because they've had control of all their characters the whole time. That's a crazy thing to me. I'm like, you really could have planned it out, and you have access to all your characters, so nothing could stop you from making
That
these
is
movies.
what I'm saying. That's what
the
I'm
thing I didn't
saying.
understand.
All they've had is solo movies with solo characters. They've never done
Yeah.
the world building thing, which is why it was such a mess. They were too reactionary and they weren't proactive, and that's why it is what it is. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's move on, please.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
All right. Last 2 topics and we're getting out of here. Emma Stone has reportedly closed the deal for a sequel to Cruella. That warms my heart. I thought this whole not getting paid by Disney Plus was gonna mess things up. I'm glad it didn't. So whatever they did to appease Emma, good. You want to continue to rob Scarlett? You do you. You needed to take care of Emma. I need a Cruella.
Wow.
The whole time, Trevon, I ain't even gonna hold you, man. The whole time I was just like, yeah, they screwing Scarlett. Yeah, that's crazy. Emma, did Emma say anything? Is Emma back? Is she coming back?
I want to know how to. I was wondering how the Rock felt. I was like, how did Rock feel about this Jungle Cruise and everything? I was like, you know,
Oh, it's crazy. The Rock couldn't care less. It was.
I know. I saw. I was like, okay, he don't care. I was like, okay.
Cared. The Rock was just like, I like this Disney money. So I mean, I got paid pretty good.
I hope. I do hope they fix it though. Hopefully they do something.
No, look, I don't like for anyone to be wrong. I hope she does get her money one way or another. I'll say that. If she got to take a pound of flesh to get it, you do you, girl. I'm just glad Emma Stone ain't come with none of that BS. So I'm glad whatever was happening with her, it's resolved.
But that movie was phenomenal, man.
You guys know how much I love that first Cruella.
Yes, so
it
good.
was phenomenal. It better get an Oscar this upcoming season for best wardrobe.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what they go for. I told you my only issue with that movie was she seems very friendly to dogs that we know Cruella is supposed to hate. So once you fix that, that movie would be literally perfection. So to me, that is the height of Disney's live action Disney movies. It's Cruella and then whatever else you want to put underneath it. Oh shit. No, I just lied. Nah, I lied. Sorry. Jungle Book first and then Cruella. That little kid, to know that he sat in a room by himself acting, because everybody else was voiceovers. And he had never acted before, and he did that. That fucking kid. Oof.
I really loved Aladdin. I really did like Aladdin.
No, look, I thought Aladdin was good. I just don't put it up there with Jungle Book and Cruella. It'd be in my top 10 for sure. Well, have we had 10?
Trying to think how many, like all we've had so far.
We had Aladdin, we had Cruella, we had the one with Angelina Jolie, we had the Jungle Book, we had Lion King.
That's Maleficent?
Yeah. Maleficent, yeah. We had Beauty and the Beast, we had Cinderella. Is that it? Do we have any more? I'm at 7. Do we have more than that? I don't think we have more than that.
I don't think so.
Next up, Little Mermaid.
Coming up. We have Pinocchio coming up. Wait, what'd you say, Trevon?
Little Mermaid. Can't wait for that.
Oh, yeah, we have the Little Mermaid. Oh, so we have more coming. I don't think we hit.
I can't wait for that, yeah.
I don't think we hit 10 yet. But anyway, yeah, I'm very excited. Shekinah, how do you feel? Did you enjoy the first Cruella?
I haven't seen it yet. I still haven't seen it.
Oh, you got to see it. It's so
I
good.
still haven't seen
So-
it, so I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know. I have no
So good.
idea. Should I watch it? Is it worth it?
Yes.
I just said it deserves an Oscar, girl.
So good. So good.
I'll watch
I
it.
was shocked.
I'll
I was
make a
shocked for
decision.
real.
Okay.
Tia actually had it. Tia or Dom had it as a screener, and they were doing an article for it. And I was just like, let me log in and just see what this. And I was just so invested. I'm like, damn, this is good.
Yeah. I was surprised. It was surprising. It really was.
Okay.
I'm
invested.
Yeah, I left that movie just going, damn, the wardrobe is slapping. Some damn good wardrobe here. Which I'm not a wardrobe guy. So I'm watching this and I'm just like, God damn. They got me taking out a pen and paper trying to draw some of this. So yes, please check it out whenever you can. But Trevon, you're on board, right?
Yes, very much so. Yeah. Yep.
All right. So last two things here. First, I want to say Brooklyn Nine-Nine came back last night for its last season.
I've never watched that show.
I'm gonna say this, Trevon.
Never seen it.
When
I hear about it all the time. Yeah.
When Black Lives Matter became like a really big thing last year, a lot of these cop-based shows decided to be more vigilant going forward. I don't like it. I don't think politics belong in movies, television, or music. I think the individuals that are in it can be the ones that speak up for it, but it doesn't necessarily fit in the confines of, like, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is a comedy.
It's a comedy.
Right.
So then when you're serious, it's like, well, you do know the whole point is for me to laugh about this. Shows like Chicago PD. Floyd, the main cop, he be beating the hell out of suspects. Now we got to change that, and it's like, well, that's what made it good. Was that I was like, the bomb's about to explode. Hang about to beat the brakes off this dude to get these codes. Now it's like, can you please give me the code, sir? No. Well, we tried.
Seriously, it's like that for real. See, I haven't watched it after they started doing PD, fire, law, whatever they're doing. It's too many. I was like, I can't do it no more. I can't. Then they start crossing. I was like, I can't.
It's not as vanilla as that, but there's like a new commissioner in town, and she's very by the book. She's what's Boris Kojo's wife, Nicole something.
I don't remember her name.
I know what you're talking about, but yeah,
she's a new captain, so she's very by the book. So he can't be as vicious and I'm like, that's kind of what made the show good, is to know that he was kind of like Batman. He ain't necessarily gonna kill somebody, but he beat the brakes.
He'll beat you up. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So Shekinah is someone who's seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm watching this first episode back. I'm not gonna say anything about the episode because how it begins will shock you. You're like, what?
Really?
You know what it feels like? It feels like an after-school special. To where it's trying to teach you on why you should stand up for, and it's just like, to me, it's the idea of, I don't necessarily want it in my movies or TV or music. I just want, if you make music about twerking, I don't want you now to make music about black rights, because I only know you for twerking. So the music won't hit me the same. It's just like, well, wait a minute, you can't. There's like church hymns in that. You can't twerk to that. Wait a minute. Like, I don't know if I like that. So to me, watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the second episode was more, it felt more like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That first was just like, it either has to be organic or just don't do it. You know, maybe guys just shouldn't have come back. But yeah, I want to. Go ahead, Trevon.
Never mind. I'll wait till you finish with this show. I want to ask about another show. See if you guys are watching it or not.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So that I just wanted to bring that up because a lot of shows are venturing more into that.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes it's just like no, don't do it. Don't be who you are, and then just as actors come out and speak up to the injustices that are happening in the world.
Right.
To change your show to fit a narrative, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But what show was you gonna mention, Trevon?
I want to ask, do you guys watch Ted Lasso? Do you guys watch it?
No, Joel's trying to get me to watch it. I'm gonna start it maybe this weekend.
Who's trying to get you to watch it?
Joel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he loves it.
Man, I love it. It's
I don't know.
it's so good. I was so skeptical. I was like, oh, what is this show? Like everybody keeps talking about it's the best show on television. I was like, really? From the previews, I was like, no. Then I watched it. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it. I've teared up a few times. Well, okay, I get it. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, but I was just wondering if you guys watch it or not. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna give it a shot. Maybe this weekend. Maybe I got some other stuff I gotta do, but maybe I'll give it a shot this weekend. But yeah, so I'll make sure to put it's on my list. It's on my list. Me and Joel like to trade off shows, so I got him into Burn Notice. So maybe I'll get into Ted Lasso for him. There was one last thing I thought I wanted to talk about, but I think I forgot. So unless you guys got something, we can just end it on that. I completely forgot where I was going.
You watch Stargirl? Everybody watch Stargirl? Did we talk about that? Have we talked about
I never
Stargirl?
started it, never watched it. I will never watch it.
Oh, wow.
What is
wow.
You go? Why did you go that far? What's wrong with Stargirl?
When I tell you I haven't watched a CW show in literal years, I don't invest my time. I'm so sorry. I know you guys might say it's good. I can't do it. I don't want to do it.
I'll tell you, it's not a CW show. It started off on DC Universe, so it's made how Swamp Thing was made, how Titans was made. Okay. It's not made like any. It doesn't have the formula of anything CW. So I think if you tried it and didn't like it, cool. But it feels nothing like the CW. I trust me. You know me. I would just tell you, yeah. Don't I know you
would.
It's not.
It's not convincing me though. I don't.
So what about Superman and Lois?
I think I'm just not interested. Don't get me started on that. I'm not watching a Superman who isn't Henry Cavill. Don't get me started. I also don't like Lois. I don't like.
It's really good though. But okay.
Oh well. Okay. I will not be supporting that.
Okay. Okay, I respect that. Okay. All right.
Sorry. I can't do it.
Look, I respect loyalty. I really do. We don't see much of it in today's world. So when I see loyalty, I respect the hell out of it. I respect it. Somewhere Henry heard that, and he's just like,
he could hear me. Yeah,
he heard you. He's like, all right, I see you, I see you.
I agree. I understand the loyalty. I'm loyal to one artist out here, and I always will be.
We know you.
Already know.
We know.
My girl.
We know. We know how you feel. Her monster verse was better than Lil Kim's All About the Benjamins verse. Yeah, we've had.
Ash agreed though. So hey,
look, don't make it right, Trevon. I hate when people like, but blah 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 agreed. Y'all both wrong. Saying nothing, y'all both wrong. I'm sorry. I think people keep forgetting Lil Kim had the best verse on that song, and she was rapping against Biggie, Jadakiss, Styles P, Diddy, as opposed to Nicki going against Kanye, who's not a lyricist. The only lyricist in that song was Jay-Z. And I don't even think his line was that good in my.
I was about to say something, but I'm gonna let it go.
Go ahead. What you gonna say? So we can get out of here. What you gonna say?
Biggie wrote it. I was gonna say Big. She didn't write it, but okay, go ahead. Yes.
Yes. So you thought even writing it, that her verse was that nice, right? Okay, all right. You want to rumble with the B, huh? Throw a hex on your whole family. Dressing all black like the Omen. You ain't have.
Don't count if you didn't write it. But okay, but go ahead.
Nicki wrote all her stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
All right. Okay. All right. All right, guys. We want to thank you for joining in on the episode of GVN Talk.
Keep this in too.
Wait,
Keep
what?
this in here.
Oh,
Keep
yeah.
this in here. Don't cut it.
I'm gonna keep this in here. I might even use this as the clip. It had nothing to do with the episode. This might even. I meant to do it at the beginning of the episode, but Shekinah, love
What?
this. Love your shirt.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you.
Look at that, Batman. Look at
very
that.
cool.
He's who runs
Very
the
cool.
world. We want to thank you guys. Huge shouts out to Ash and AJ who couldn't join tonight, but they will be back next week.
Yeah.
And I know AJ is gonna have a lot to say. I know Ash felt very passionately about these first 3 episodes of Titans. All I can say is, once you guys get around to about episode 6, you'll only have more questions and some frustration. But
Okay.
overall, you will love this show because they're just not afraid to go certain places, but they're also not afraid to do certain things that are just like, huh? Like what?
I definitely felt like they are like going forward with this show. I didn't think they would go what they did these first 3 episodes. I was like, oh, okay.
I would say that
Yeah.
after I left that 6th episode, the first thing I said to myself was, they wrote this show as if Warner Brothers told them, if this shit don't hit, you will not get a 4th. So all
Yeah.
to the wall. I don't even know where they can go from here. Because think about it, they did Judah's contract, and now they had to implement a whole story that won't never their story. So it's like, well, I don't know where you go. Maybe Hive is where you go next. I don't know, but you're starting to do all the really good stuff early. So I don't know how long your shelf life will be, but
Have they done? They didn't do Terra, right? No. They
No,
didn't do Terra.
no.
Yeah.
No.
So maybe they could do that. I don't know.
But again, you'd have to change that because how did we get Terra in the cartoon, Trevon? Through
It's been a long time.
Wilson. We got it through Slade.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I
You
can't. I'm
technically
having a hard time recalling the last season. Did he die or not? I don't remember.
Think about this. Think about this,
Yeah.
and we're gonna get out of here. They technically did her arc, but with his daughter.
Yeah, they did.
Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Betrayal. Yeah.
split them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did do it.
But instead of Beast Boy falling for Terra, it was Jason falling for what's her name. So they've done it. So that scares me because I'm like, well,
So they won't fall for it again. Yeah.
not well.
Maybe not.
You
Maybe
can-
not. But man.
It's not a problem. But us, it's hard to get us to fall for that again.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, that's all we got for you. I want to thank Trevon and Shekinah for joining me. We broke down a lot this episode. We told DC how much we are frustrated with them. But DC,
hopefully
that will be a weekly thing if you continue life as you've been living it. So, you know, sorry. But make sure you guys check out my recent interview with Christian Harloff, the man behind.
Loved it.
Thank you,
Loved it.
Trevon.
Yes, loved it. Yeah.
That man is a personal hero of mine. So make sure you guys go check that out. Also, Tia has an interview with Michael Waldron, the man behind the Loki show.
Oh, okay.
Out. Her and Dom have been knocking out these interviews, and Martin also. Make sure you guys check out our Geek Vibes podcast page, obviously where you'll be watching this. We have plenty of reviews. The MCR came back, and I am proud to announce that we will be debuting our new intro for What If next week.
Okay.
Dakota
Can't wait
did
to see that.
for sure. So make sure you guys check out all of our great content. And until next time, guys. Peace.
Peace.